Hey everyone, my name is Glenn Garnes. I'm the founder of Village Connector Community, and we are going to be talking today about entrepreneurship. This is part of our education initiative here at Village Connector Community, and I want to thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be doing a number of things today, one of which is going to be to educate you a little bit about what the plan is for this course and this endeavor. We're going to then also introduce you to Village Connector Community in a way that gives you an appreciation for what's in it for you to become part of our community. So I want to thank you for joining us this morning. And I'm just so you know, I'm watching down here on my laptop to hopefully see what's going on with the news feed. So please forgive me if I look down, because I'm trying to monitor the activity in the news feed so that hopefully I can answer questions for anyone that has them. It's a little more difficult for me to do that from the smartphone. So let me just turn this on here for just a second. You're going to hear some sound. Oh, that's not going to work here. For some reason or another, I can't get that to work on a Mac. I think the Mac has to requires the Flash plug-in that doesn't work on the Mac. So we got to figure that out. Anyway. I want to welcome those of you that are joining in: Rosa Hodge, Rob Brown, Paul Kirkpatrick, Josh Silverstone. Welcome to the village. These are our regular villagers, so I'm not surprised to see them in here. They've always been loyal followers of what we're doing here. So let me start off by giving you a little, and I should tell you, we're going to probably spend about 30 minutes. Hopefully no more than that, because this is designed just to be an introduction and an orientation to this class. And you'll see why later on when we get to the full presentation, why we're not going to spend very much time here today. So with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here. Village Connector Community is an educational organization that's designed to help people invest in themselves through personal development, health and wellness, and professional development. And the Entrepreneur Mastermind workshop is part of our education initiative on the professional development side. We're literally helping people understand the value and opportunity for them to start businesses for themselves. And we'll talk more about the details of that a little bit later. With that in mind, what we're doing right now is this session is designed to basically create awareness that the course exists so that more people can take advantage of it. We're actually going to be doing something a little bit differently this time around. Last time I taught this course, we taught it for a full year, one Saturday a month for an entire year, to give people a chance between sessions to implement the teachings that we were sharing with them. This year, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're actually going to teach this as an immersion in 2 weekends. And one of the reasons that we're hosting this event today is so that we can alert you to the need to stay on the lookout for those two weekend workshops, because if you're physically located in the Maryland area, Maryland, D.C., Virginia, you're welcome to come and join us here in our event room, where you can participate in this session live and in person. We're going to be using the whiteboard, and we're going to be using big screen TVs and stuff like that to actually show people all the things that we're doing. And if you're available to be physically here, then it'd be great. I want to welcome my dear friend, lifelong pal, Sharon Lorenz Smith, actually. I knew her. I had the privilege of knowing her growing up when she was just Sharon Lorenz. Charles Luttrell, welcome to the broadcast. So I want to invite you, if you're here locally, to come out for the 2 weekends. It's going to probably end up being Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night will probably be about 4 hours, going from about 6 to 10. Saturday and Sunday will probably be 8 hours each day, with breaks. We'll be taking breaks. But our goal is to get the entire workshop that we would normally do over the course of an entire year recorded so that we can put it on the internet for playback. We're going to be making this as part of the Village Connector Education Library. And that library is going to be made available to the community free of charge, no cost. Now, the reason that's important for you to keep in mind is that we normally charge for this workshop, but we have it set as a mission for ourselves this year to help more people get started in business, because of the important role that business plays in helping our local economies to thrive and prosper, our local communities. So my mission for this year is to help as many people as possible to get started in some type of business, some type of secondary income, maybe an income that replaces your full-time income, whatever it is for you. We want to help more people to get started and understand what it takes to be in business. And I don't want to have you wait a full year to figure that out. We've actually taught this workshop several times, and we've done it in several different formats. And we've concluded that getting the whole thing recorded all at once where people can consume it on demand and implement the teachings from it at their leisure is probably the best way for us to get people started in business. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the substance of this workshop. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about what Village Connector is all about. And then we will hopefully entertain any questions that you might have. I want to welcome my dear friend Kevin DeVoe, another friend from home who, despite our my personal beliefs and things, is still my friend. And my cousin Teresa Thomas, who's just joined in. So welcome from Washington, from the great state of Washington, so to speak. So, one of the reasons I choose to teach entrepreneurship is because I feel that we do not get enough emphasis on the opportunity to be in business for ourselves in the traditional academic environment. For the most part, college teaches you how to prepare yourself to go work for somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that, except that if you were looking for something more than working for someone else, you're probably not being as encouraged and nurtured for that as you are to go work for someone else. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to help you to understand some of the important information that exists out there on how you can create your own business rather than creating somebody else's. And the business that you go into will be of your own choosing. In fact, that's part of the course, is to help you to come up with your business idea. The truth is that there are an unlimited number of ideas that would make good businesses if people took the time to stop and think about how they might be the catalyst for bringing that to life, so to speak. And so in this course, we're going to teach you how to come up with your business idea. But even before that, I want to welcome Elena Chapman to the chat here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you out here. But what we're going to do starting off is to help you to understand what entrepreneurship is. We're literally going to go through the definition of entrepreneurship and explore what it really means to be an entrepreneur. A lot of times we just see people in business and we have our own preconceived notion about why they went into business. Most of the time people have the notion that people go into business just to make money. And while making money is a big part of that, because that's how we make a living, that's not usually what motivates entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are typically problem solvers that see an opportunity to make a difference in the world and to make a profit while making a difference. So the bottom line is that understanding the foundational philosophies and principles of entrepreneurs is an important driving force in encouraging you to pursue it if it's right for you. We're also going to be debunking a lot of myths about entrepreneurship. Some of those myths include the fact that, and this really isn't a myth, this is kind of a, I'll call it a common sense observation, that entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. And when I hear people say that, I have to ask myself, okay, show me something that is for everyone, and then we can talk about how entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. And then they'll usually say, well, oxygen and water. Okay, I get that. But here's the point. We know that everything isn't for everybody, and everybody isn't for everything. But to say that entrepreneurship is not for everybody as if, that's a justification for more people to be employed rather than in their own businesses is kind of one of those manipulative circumstances that we sometimes allow the media to condition us to believe. The truth is, employment isn't for everybody either, but college prepares us to go work for other people. So if we were going to really be honest with ourselves, what we would say is that entrepreneurship, like most things, isn't for everyone. But there are more people that should be pursuing entrepreneurship than get encouraged to do so. And that's our mission here, is to help people for whom entrepreneurship is a good fit to learn about it and to be about it. So I want to welcome William Murray, one of the consummate entrepreneurs. He is a brother in both the Village Connector community here and also in spirit, because he also teaches people how to get into business for themselves. And William will be one of our speakers, one of our featured speakers when we get to topics that make his heart sing. So he's quite a talent, been around a long time in business, and has gained an incredible amount of wisdom that he'll be sharing when we invite him in to speak. So thank you for being on the broadcast, William. Now, with that in mind, our goal, again, is not to convert everybody into entrepreneurs. Our goal is simply to be a resource to the people who seek to pursue entrepreneurship as something that would interest them. People that want to make a difference, people that are limited in the difference they can make by being employed with someone else, and people who need the knowledge and the information to be able to make it happen and to make it productive for themselves and for their community. And that is important for us to remember. When we help people get started in business, we're helping them, but we're also helping them to be of service to people in their community. And that is starting to get into some of the philosophies that come into making entrepreneurship a worthy endeavor. So I want to give a little bit of background on myself just so to put some things into perspective. I started off my business career as a lawyer. I went to law school, went to college, went to law school, graduated, worked for a law firm. And I was fortunate that very early on in my legal career, I had the opportunity to get out into my own law practice for all kinds of reasons that we don't need to get into detail with here. I'll tell that story some other time. But I had a very early introduction to what it meant to have my own law firm versus working for somebody else's. Less than 2 years out of law school, I was starting my own law firm. And even in the context of that law firm, I found myself somewhat limited from a creativity standpoint because the practice of law is so conservative. And back then we didn't have a lot of technology. The internet had not yet been born officially. We were still probably 4 years away from the actual, public availability of the internet. So one thing I noticed, though, is that my clients who were business owners were very excited about their businesses. Even though they were being sued or coming to me to sue someone, they were excited about their businesses because those are not happy moments, as most of us probably would realize without having to go through it. But with that in mind, it intrigued me to see how excited and how passionate they were about their businesses. And even though I was enjoying the practice of law, it just didn't seem like I was enjoying it as much as they were enjoying their businesses. So it was intriguing to me. And as I started to really explore the world of entrepreneurship and get out of the traditional view of practicing law, I started to get bit by the entrepreneur bug myself and decided to close my law firm after 18 years of practicing law and experimenting with entrepreneurship off and on. I decided to make it my full-time endeavor. And today, I operate an organization, Village Connector Community, which is an empowerment organization. We help people invest in themselves through what we call the so-called soft skills, personal development, health and wellness, and professional development. So that's something I never contemplated I'd ever be doing as a lawyer. And of course, I'm not doing it as a lawyer, I'm doing it as an entrepreneur. So when I left my law practice, my goal was to find something that I could do that would really make a difference to people and something that I would enjoy doing and something that I could make money doing. And so Village Connector Community has evolved into what it is that is making my heart sing as it relates to satisfying all of those different conditions of my activity. So with that in mind, one of the things that I'm going to be doing here is educating you on what Village Connector is all about, but also showing you how that mission ties back to the Entrepreneur Mastermind group and the Entrepreneur Mastermind organization and the course. And I want to welcome Wanda Robinson, another very dear friend. Derek Quick is out there. Good to see you, Derek. Very talented pitchman for car dealerships, by the way. If you need somebody to do a TV commercial, Derek is your man. So with that in mind, I want to focus a little bit about the scope of the course. So we talked about the fact that we're going to talk a little bit about how entrepreneurship fits into the big picture for people, what it takes to be an entrepreneur, the kinds of skills that you need to have to be successful as an entrepreneur. And I actually have a little bit of a peeve that I'll alert you to right now, which is that people in the academic world have a tendency to label personal development topics like, self-esteem and leadership and creative thinking and success mindset and things of that nature, and some of the things that we're going to be learning here in the course, they have a tendency to label those things as soft skills, as if they're somehow less significant than reading and writing and arithmetic and things of that nature. And the truth is, if we were really being honest in our assessment of the value of these skills should form the foundation for the rest of our academic pursuits. Character, integrity, like I said, success mindset. It's hard to be successful in anything unless you have a success mindset, and that absolutely is the case in entrepreneurship. See, the thing about entrepreneurship is that you're not going to wake up in the morning and have an employer chasing you around to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So you have to be even more driven than the average employee because you're not punching a clock. So with that in mind, entrepreneurship is actually, in my assessment, a place where your so-called soft skills are even more important. See, a lot of times employers end up being babysitters for people who don't have the motivation to drive themselves through passion to do the things that interest them. And that's not true of all employees, of course. I don't want to paint with that broad a brush, but let's face it. We've all been in an employment situation where our coworkers were not as driven as the owner of the company, or not as driven as we were to do what was necessary to get done. How many people have you seen taking sick leave where they're supposed to be at work and they call in sick and then you find them out, on vacation or doing something else that had nothing to do with being sick? So, entrepreneurs don't take sick leave. Entrepreneurs, it's their business and they understand that, and they focus on what's necessary to get the job done, especially if they've been given the right information. So this course is largely about shortening your learning curve as well. Yeah, I've been practicing law for almost 30 years now, and the bottom line is that during that period of time, I've had a chance to interact with a lot of business professionals, and most of what I've learned has been through self-education, meaning I didn't learn it in a formal school environment. I certainly didn't learn it in college, and what I learned was very practical because it was what people were really doing in real life versus what was being taught in books and theory and things of that nature. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do, whether you do it here with Village Connector Community or someplace else, is to find yourself a mentor, someone who has been through what you're about to do and can shorten your learning curve by making sure that you don't have to go out and make all the mistakes that were necessary to learn things. There really are no mistakes. Mistakes are simply opportunities to learn. They're learning experiences. Now, if you keep making that learning experience happen over and over again, that's when it becomes a mistake because you're obviously not getting the lesson from it. But with that in mind, what I would say to you is that one of the fastest ways for you to make entrepreneurship work for you is to find a way to partner yourself with a mentor who can help to shorten your learning curve. Now, you can do that through self-study and self-education, through the course that we're creating here for you, but you need to go beyond that. You need to get connected to other people that have expertise with some of the things that you're going to need to be successful in entrepreneurship and get plugged in with them in some fashion. Now, some of those people will be able to mentor you at no cost, and some of them are coaches and consultants and advisors that charge a fee to help to shorten your learning curve, but it all has value. So I want to encourage you to get plugged in with the right people if you're going to make it your mission to make entrepreneurship successful for you. Now, one of the things that entrepreneurs need to do very early on is to come up with their business idea. And that's something we're going to cover here. We're going to bring in a young lady who is a very talented idea person. Her name is Sylvia Henderson, and she is the founder of the Idea Success Network. Sylvia literally helps you come up with your business idea and then get it out of your head and into production. Now, I can tell you right now, that's worth a fortune just in and of itself. So the bottom line is that Sylvia will be coming here to share that with you, and she's the kind of person that you should get plugged in with, and we'll show you some ways that you can do that. Once you have your business idea, you need a business plan. And your business plan is something that a lot of people think is just a document that you create so that you can go to banks and investors and get funded for your business. But the truth is, your business plan is kind of your playbook. It becomes your roadmap to how you're going to operate your business. It gives you a historical perspective on whether you're following through on the things that you originally set out to do in your business. And so your business plan is going to be an important component of being successful with your business. Now, we also know that in order for you to do business, there are a variety of different entities under which you can operate in business. And what I mean by that is, you might be a corporation, you might be a partnership, you might be a sole proprietorship, we might be a limited liability company. And the choice as to which one of those makes sense will be dependent on the type of business and your plans for how you want to grow your business. We'll be covering that information with you as well and making sure that you understand what your options are with respect to the business legal formation, the business legal entity that you choose. We've got a very talented lawyer. Her name is Tiffany Donaldson, who specializes in helping startup businesses get started in business. And Tiffany will be available for you to learn from. And if you choose to have her help you get your business incorporated the proper way. So again, I'm using all of my connections to bring you a brain trust of people who can help to shorten your learning curve. Some of whom will be able to mentor you by answering your questions, and some of whom you might decide to hire to actually help you implement the things that you're being asked to do. Now, with that in mind, I want to also welcome Deborah Myers, another very dear friend, a very accomplished entrepreneur herself, who is doing some great things with her company, VirtuArt. I'm not going to make this a commercial for Deborah, but if you go to virtuarte.com, virtuart.com, you will find some of the most extraordinary gifts and gift ideas that you can find anywhere. And we're getting into the holiday season. You're going to be looking for Christmas gifts. This would be a great time for you to go over to the website and get plugged in with her. She's got some incredible things from the art and gift ideas from around the world. So you're literally giving people a piece of culture, handcrafted. All right, I told you I wasn't going to make it a commercial. Handcrafted cultural items that you can make as gifts to your friends and family. So I encourage you to go over to virtuart.com. Now, no business would be complete without a marketing plan. So we're going to teach you how to come up with your marketing plan. Your marketing plan is simply a function of learning how to reach the people that you seek to be of service to in your business. That's a simple concept in theory, but then there's a lot of nuance that goes into how you go about doing that. And that will differ with the type of business that you're in. But I can tell you one thing for certain. Regardless of the type of business that you're in, technology is going to play a big role in helping you to be efficient in your business and helping you to develop opportunities for yourself in business. So we're going to cover a lot of different technologies, some of them marketing technologies, some of them business operations technologies, but they're going to be technologies that help you to create a professional environment from which to operate your business. So I want to make sure that you understand that I'm telling you, this is a very comprehensive approach to teaching entrepreneurship. And this is not theory. This is real ideas. These are real things happening in the real world. A lot of times we go to college, we go to high school, we go to a lot of different places to learn. And as we're learning these things, we're not quite sure where is that going to show up in the real world from. I mean, how many of you were sitting in algebra class wondering whether algebra was ever going to be something you would use on a regular basis? I don't think I've used algebra since I graduated from high school. And I don't think I used it then. But the bottom line is that we always do better in learning when we can see the direct application of what we're about to learn in the real world. So we're going to stay laser focused on real world application of some of these principles that we're sharing with you. So technology, we're going to spend some time on that. And one of the technologies that we're going to teach you is how to build your online infrastructure. In other words, how to build your online presence, how to build a website, how to set up your social media presence, how to structure it as an integrated system. We're going to talk a lot in our entrepreneurship endeavors about systems. The word system actually is an acronym that stands for Save Yourself Time, Energy, and Money. And that's exactly what a system is designed to do. And we're going to show you where you should have systems integrated into your business. Some of it is going to be with your traditional workflow, depending on what your business is. Some of it's going to be with your marketing. Some of it's going to be with just the general idea of your business and getting other people involved in the business. So with that in mind, we're going to take you through the process of evaluating where systems can help you do better at what you're doing. So there's a lot that goes into researching and planning your business. Things depending on the nature of your business, figuring out where to locate your business, figuring out what types of resources that you need, how to get financing to start and launch your business, how to get financing to grow an existing business. There's a lot of people that get into business by they start in business by acquiring someone else's business. They purchase the business. So the bottom line is we're going to talk about alternatives to starting from scratch. Another very viable alternative, believe it or not, is network marketing. And when network marketing is taught the right way, it is a very, very potent opportunity for people in getting started in business, minimizing their risk and simplifying the process of getting into business for themselves. The one challenge with network marketing is that it's very often not taught the right way. And when it's not taught properly, people have a slanted or a jaded view of what network marketing really is and what it really means. So we're going to debunk some of the myths associated with network marketing and show you how to do it the right way and not just have it be about, the typical get-rich-quick scheme type of mentality that sometimes is attracted to network marketing opportunities. I wish we could get into detail about that right now, but I promise you it's going to be covered in the course. So, there's a comment here I want to address from Rob Brown. Rob is one of my clients that started an organization called For Book Lovers Only. He basically teaches or helps self-published authors to market their books through his website and his own TV show. And Rob's comment is, entrepreneurship allows you to verify that the majority of supervisors you were subordinate to in jobs were grossly underqualified. Okay, Rob, thank you for that. I will express no opinion on it other than to say that I appreciate your observation. The truth is, most of us who work for somebody are always thinking that we could do better than our supervisor. And the truth is that we could probably do better than the owner of the company if we were entertaining the idea of being in business for ourselves. And that's what we're going to be doing here with the Entrepreneur Mastermind program. So Justine Hill, thank you so much for joining us. Justine is a very dear friend from way back, and grew up with Justine. Bottom line is that you want to make sure that you don't miss opportunities by being unaware of your ability to take advantage of them. And that's largely what Village Connector Community is all about, is helping you to understand where the opportunities are for you to grow as an individual, developing new skills, new talents, new geniuses for yourself, and then being able to share those geniuses with others in a way that enhances their life as well. And of course, sharing them doesn't mean for free all the time. Sometimes you get paid to share your genius, because life is about an exchange of value. People will compensate you for what you know if it enriches their life. Think about all the doctors and lawyers and other professionals out here who we pay handsomely because they add value to our lives. You have the right to be compensated when you add value to the lives of others, and you shouldn't be apologizing for it either. So, now, one of the things that we're going to teach you, as I said, is about how to build your online infrastructure. And I will say this, after we show you what's involved with it, it may very well be that you're not going to do it yourself, but you need to be aware of how it's done so that you will know whether you're getting quality work when you choose to hire someone to build your website, to build out your social media infrastructure, to build your marketing system, or to do anything else that we're going to teach you how to do here. Not everything that we teach is necessarily going to be something you will do personally, but you have to be aware of it enough to know how to go about getting that work done. And so one of the things we're going to teach you is how to hire the right people to get the job done, and how to outsource certain aspects of your business to people who can take it on for you and take it off of your list of things to do, so to speak. So that's all part of being an entrepreneur. And again, you may be getting the impression by now that there's a lot to entrepreneurship, and there is. But see, that's also why entrepreneurs, when they're successful, make the big money. We have a tendency to demonize people who have been very successful in entrepreneurship. Think about how many times you read in the news about Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs before he passed, and how much money they made. Everyone was focused on how much money they made, but they were never focused on how much value they were delivering to people. You see, nobody snookered you into buying an iPhone. You love your iPhone because it does a lot for you. And Steve Jobs had the right to be well compensated for delivering an iPhone to you because of the way it enhanced your lifestyle to have one. So when you get into entrepreneurship, you should never apologize for wanting to be well compensated if you're delivering value for people. And that's one of the things that, again, in the media, we sometimes see people demonizing entrepreneurs for being successful, but then at the same time, they don't acknowledge the value that they're. Some of the people that are demonizing them from the very devices they created. People are on their smartphones like this, complaining about how much money Steve Jobs used to make, but they're doing it from an iPhone. Go figure. So one of the other things that we're going to do in this class is we're going to get real. We're going to call things what they are. We're going to state our philosophies with respect to how to view certain things. But ultimately, the decision as to what you believe and how you choose to achieve it is going to be up to you. Because we're not here to brainwash you. We're here to open your mind. We're here to help you to expand your thinking. We're here to make sure that you're not just drinking the traditional Kool-Aid of choice, that you are actually seeing things for what they really are, and the opportunities that you've been missing will start to come your way in a furious way. So now, Entrepreneur Mastermind, as I said, is a free offering. We used to charge for this course, and in the course that we charge for, we used to provide some technology tools as part of the course. That was one of the other reasons we charged for it. Since we're not going to be providing all of the technology, but we'll be telling you where you can go to get it, we decided to offer the actual training at no cost, because we don't want anybody that has an interest in entrepreneurship to be limited by their current budget. The whole purpose behind entrepreneurship is to be able to increase your budget. So we want to be part of helping you to get started so that you can then afford more things and stop worrying about all the stuff that is not available to you because of your paycheck limitations. One of my favorites public speakers, a gentleman by the name of Jim Rohn, who you might be familiar with, had a very apt quote that I love to share, and I'm going to share it right now. And that is, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. And so learning about entrepreneurship through this so-called soft skill type of approach is about learning how to create your fortune. Now, fortune has less to do with money and more to do with creating the lifestyle you choose. You see, not every entrepreneur is looking to make $1 billion. Sometimes you're just looking to have control over what you choose to work on and who you choose to work with. One of the nice things about entrepreneurship is that your employer's not going to come down the hall and dump a project on you that you don't want to work on. You get to choose your clients. You get to choose your subject matter. You get to choose the hours you work. You get to choose what you do in your business. And if you're structuring your business in a smart way, it does in fact help you to improve the quality of life you have for yourself. Now, that doesn't mean entrepreneurs don't work hard. The truth is, I work more hours in my business than I ever would for an employer, but it's by choice, not by obligation. So with that in mind, entrepreneurship might result in you spending more time in your business than you do in your job, but you're going to like it a lot better as long as you're doing something that makes your heart sing. And I want to be part of helping you to do that. Now, one of the things that we're going to cover in the class is not just the general operation of the business, but also how to expand your business. And a lot of times expansion means acquiring additional capital in your business. So we're going to bring Lorette Farris of iBoss Inc., a former Wall Street broker that has years and years of experience raising capital in the capital markets in a very big way. She now teaches people and helps them to raise capital in their startup and early stage companies. And so again, we have some very, very talented people that are part of this team that are all going to be sharing their wisdom with you. So we are going to encourage you to get plugged into this, because I'm telling you right now, I don't know that you're going to be able to find this. This is going to be like what you would pay to go to a college course. This is the kind of information you should be getting exposed to in college, but it's all going to be at your leisure, on demand, without worry about what stuff costs. And I'm very happy to be able to bring it to you on that basis. Now, the last thing that we're going to cover in the course is what's known as your exit strategy. Your exit strategy is how you plan to exit your business at whatever point in time that happens. Sometimes that's involuntary when something happens and the owner of the business dies or something like that. There should be a plan for how that business gets transitioned to someone else, because if you go through the trouble to build a business, you've got an asset. And if you have an asset has value. And you can realize the value of that asset by planning appropriately to exit your business in a way that allows you to be compensated for shortening someone else's learning and working curve by giving them an opportunity to pick up where you left off. And there's a value to that. And you should be compensated for that value. Now, the unfortunate thing is a lot of small business owners, a lot of sole proprietors especially, their business either dies with them or it stops when they choose to retire. And that's unfortunate because they've spent a lifetime of building up equity, goodwill, and a system, and a consistent profit and loss situation within their business, consistent cash flow. And just because they stop working doesn't mean that somebody else shouldn't benefit from that and compensate them for it. So we're going to teach you how, before you even start your business, to have an exit plan in mind so that you can work towards that. You may decide to work your business until, literally till you're no longer capable of standing, and that's fine. But a lot of times people get into business to create an asset that they sell to somebody else, and that's also very fine. But as you can see, this course is going to be very comprehensive. It's going to cover a lot of detail. It's going to all be available in a members-only password-protected area of the Village Connector community website. It will be free, but it will be in a password-protected section of the website. And the reason we're doing that is we want to be able to quantify who is coming in and benefiting from it. So while you can get a username and password to the course free of charge, we want you to be able to apply for that and become part of the Village Connector community so that we can see the results of our own labor. I'm measuring our success by how many people take that course and go on to do something with it. And we want you to be a part of the Village so that we can hopefully play a role in helping you to create your success story. That's my mission, is to be a part of as many success stories in my lifetime as possible, helping to create them and helping people to create them for themselves. So with that in mind, I want to do something here to give you the opportunity to get plugged in with Village Connector. Number one, I want to encourage you to go to our website and get on our mailing list. We use the mailing list to alert you to these kinds of offerings, to other workshops and seminars and events that are taking place that are part of our network. We also use it to share information that may make a difference in your life. Village Connector community covers 3 foundational areas: personal development, health and wellness, and what we call financial and community economics. And the reason those areas are important is because people that are growing through personal development, who are focused on living a balanced wellness lifestyle, and who are looking for opportunities to create profit and live a lifestyle they deserve, those are people that are evolving human beings. And we are here to help people to evolve. So it's important for us to get as many people involved in this community as possible, because that also helps us to fulfill our mission. So if you go to villageconnector.com, www.villageconnector.com, at the bottom of the first page, you'll see a place where you can fill in your name and your email address to get on the mailing list. In fact, if someone wouldn't mind, please type in to the chat room, villageconnector.com, villageconnector.com. I want to welcome Claudette Gadsden-Rehrbeck and Daniel Altman and Robin Tennille, who have all just joined in here. It's good to see the family coming in. These are all members of the Village, and we're pleased to have you in here with us this morning. We're about to wrap up, so you might have to catch the replay if you're just getting in here now. But here's the point. Asagid Hepwald, thank you for joining as well, one of our leadership instructors. He'll be coming to talk about the so-called soft skill of leadership. And when you find out what leadership can do for you, you realize it's not as soft as people sometimes categorize it. It's a hard skill. It's a skill that makes a difference. It's a skill that will make you successful. Now, with that in mind, Village Connector, as I said, is free. No cost to join. Get on the mailing list and get access to this information. I also want to encourage you to join the Village Connector community group on Facebook. We have over 1,000 people in there right now, and we haven't really even begun promoting it. The promotion of that group is going to actually start tomorrow night. And tomorrow night, we're going to be doing something very special that I want to encourage you to participate in. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'm going to be right back here for the Village Connector Community Town Hall meeting, our Campaign for Humanity Town Hall meeting. This is a special event that we're hosting as part of what we're calling the Campaign for Humanity, where our goal is to assemble enough people to be working together with each other, to invest in ourselves individually, and then to invest in each other by supporting each other. We're doing the direct opposite of what you see happening in the mainstream media, where we're being divided into little factions that don't play nicely with each other. We're trying to bring ourselves together as humanity and find ways to help each other accomplish more. Together, as we know, everyone achieves more. That's what the acronym TEAM is. With that in mind, I want to encourage you to please come back tomorrow at, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow, no, yeah, it is tomorrow. Today's Saturday. What am I talking about? Tomorrow, Sunday at 7 p.m., we'll be right back here to have a chat with you about the launch of the Village Connector Education Center. Part of the Entrepreneur Mastermind program, part of the Village Connector Education System is the Entrepreneur Mastermind program, but the Entrepreneur Mastermind program is only a part of our overall education system. We have a complete education system, again, available to you at no cost, on virtually anything you would want to learn related to personal development. In fact, it's like walking into a bookstore, into the personal development section, and being able to pull books and information off the shelf at no cost to yourself. We also have, as part of the Learning Center, an experts directory. And we're slowly getting experts signed up to put their profile in the directory so that if you read on a topic and you want to go deeper into that topic, you have the ability to reach out to those experts who may be in a position to coach you, usually for a fee. Some of them have free information too, but usually for a fee, they will coach and advise you on the subjects that interest you most. But you can get access to all that information risk-free. So I want to encourage you, please, come on in and join the Village. Become part of what we're doing. You can do that right now today. If you're on Facebook, type in Village Connector Community in the search bar. Be aware that we have a fan page and a group. So we ask you to like the fan page and then join the group. But once you're plugged in, you'll be alerted to events. You'll be alerted to courses. You'll be alerted to information. You'll be getting your daily dose of inspiration and wisdom just by being plugged into the group. I want to welcome my dear cousin, Dawn Muhammad. Boy, the whole family, literally the whole family's in here today. This is good. I think that one of the things that I really love about what I do for a living now is the impact that I can have on others and the kind of interaction that I have with others. It was very stifling to be a lawyer sitting in my office waiting for people to have legal problems. Now I'm able to help them solve problems before they're even a problem through educating them with the information that we have accumulated. And we're very proud of this information. We want to share it with you. So here's what I want to ask you to do. Don't make any long-term commitments, even though it doesn't cost you anything. Join the Village Connector community group, get on the mailing list, and then kick the tires and take a look around and see if you agree that the information that we're preparing and sharing with you is worth your time and energy. I'd love to be a part of your success story. Our entire team here would love to be part of your success story. And it's very easy for you to make that happen by simply joining the mailing list at villageconnector.com and also joining the Village Connector community group. So I hope that you'll take the opportunity to do that for yourself and give us an opportunity to be part of your world. So, all of you budding entrepreneurs out here, here's what you need to know next. We're going to be making an announcement later on tomorrow night as part of the town hall meeting about when the Entrepreneur Mastermind program will officially launch for the benefit of people that are physically in the area and want to come to the live classes where you can actually do Q&A back and forth. And then we'll be telling you also when that information will be available in the Learning Center. So if you'd like to find out, for those of you that are interested in entrepreneurship, if you'd like to find out when that's going to happen, tune back in tomorrow night at 7 p.m., same place. If you're watching this broadcast for the first time, please subscribe or follow my broadcast, because then you'll receive a notification when we launch the broadcast. But get plugged in. Try something different. If you haven't done this, if you haven't invested in yourself through personal development recently, give this a shot. I think you're worth investing in. And I think you do too. I think you think you're worth investing in. And we want to give you that opportunity and make it painless for you to invest in yourself. So please take advantage of what we put together here. I think you're going to enjoy the experience, and I know that you'll enjoy the company of other people like the ones you see in this broadcast who will all be welcoming you to the village. I want to thank you for joining us today for today's broadcast, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night or on a future broadcast. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And of course, if there's anything that I can do to be part of your success, or if there's anything that I can do to help you, please ask. And you can do that by joining the Village Connector community. Join our Facebook Facebook community group, and that's where you can get plugged in to be able to ask questions and just be part of something that's worth doing. So on behalf of Village Connector community, my name is Glenn Garnes. I want to thank you for joining us today. I will certainly look forward to seeing you in the village.